Good morning, everyone. Thanks to you. With a lot of pleasure, actually. These ladies have worked tirelessly, are still working the will, ensuring that everything that we do on a day-to-day basis brings us to the goal with us, our president and our CEO. And we have our general secretary, Mercy Igege, at this stand up so you can be acknowledged. Thank you so much. We have our secretary, Lisa Jackson. Lagos State Representative, Nemesis Oyebandi Onyeogo. Thank you. Outside of Nigeria, we won't be mentioning them. There's quite a few of us. We have again progressive. Thank you very much. Please relax. We have a packed session for you. Thank you.
At this point, I'd like to welcome the WETI president for her welcome address. This woman is a queen and mom. This woman ate, like this generation would say. And let me just tell you a little bit about her. Her name is Efe Usen. She bags a 23-year-old natural gas NLNG exploration and production company and left after 2 years Gordon University, Scotland. She returned to Nigeria and started a career with the finance industry for another 12 years, where she served as the team lead quality assurance department during CBN intervention with the only bank that survived the head of the team within 3 years. As head of the Nigeria, including the largest known women association, where she later became and is still the director of projects and wealth creation, seeing the huge potential in the women's strategic inclusion and empowerment to the nation's economy, she stepped out from the finance industry to run with the original financial controllers, the women. Ladies and gentlemen, join me make welcome my president, your president, the president of the Women Export Trade Investment, Mrs. Efe.
When you were talking, I was wondering if she was talking about what happened. Thank you so much. Thank you to our guests that are here. This is our very first program. So please need all our applause because we are the newest baby in town. Okay? Well, it's something I like to do when people gather, and it's something that we all should learn to do in our own pace. You are going to at this time join me to have a breathing session. So that means that you would drop your phones, your bag, and take a comfortable sitting position, and we're all going to breathe. Breathing is good for you medically. It helps your blood circulate better. It helps your memory. It helps your mind. It helps you be more productive in your day. So as you leave this place, please learn to have breathing sessions. Now we're going to breathe together. Are you ready? Are you comfortable the way you're sitting? If I were you, I would drop my hands. I would feel free. Thank you. You, the men, will find it a bit old. And you're going to close your eyes if you may, but you can keep it open if you may. But you just make sure you're not distracted. One more thing breathing does, what's in the world but you. So you can close your eyes if you want, and you can keep it open. We're taking a deep, long breath. 1, 4, and you can exhale. As we do it this time, just try and be you, and just think of nothing else in the whole world but you. 1, and exhale. One last time we're going to do it, but this time you're going to think of that thought that makes you smile. And as you exhale, you would smile. You will enjoy you for who you are. Are you ready with me? 1, 2, 3, and you exhale with a smile. I saw you giggling. You absolutely enjoyed it, didn't you? Thank you so much for being here with me. I am sure you are much more relaxed now. Thank you. Even me, I'm much more relaxed. I'd like to say a big thank you to God for this opportunity to be the one standing behind this podium. In this group, I personally believe that WETI is a dispensation and it's a calling. And we are here to make things happen in Nigeria. A big thanks to God. Not forgetting those of us that are online, because WETI cuts across the 6 geopolitical Europe. Each state of the Federation is richly endowed with unique enough to generate their own GDP, to be self-sustaining. In all, Nigeria is a nation that is highly endowed with more than enough. We are all familiar with the challenges that has currently beholds the nation. How that for the last decade, Nigeria got lost into the production of oil and gas. We threw in all our energy into at the expense of all other viable sectors. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. As a result, Nigeria lost some of the viable markets and sizable competitive market shares and leadership to countries like China, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, etc. These countries or nations who once came to learn about the success of our agricultural sector have now become our competitors. In a recent presentation by the Managing Director of the African Development Bank, Dr. Adeosun, he puts it this way: a Nigeria, each of the MD, who himself is in Nigeria, left his audience with an uncomfortable silence, interrupted occasionally, or should I say regrets. But I ask, is Nigeria really poor? Are Nigerians really poor? The answer to this question by the expansion of the nation's current position in the scheme of things on the global market, and how it plays if he has billions in his bank account while his family starves for lack of food and necessity. True or false? Awakening of the nation into active and hope and faith that the nation is truly Nigeria sector is still the highest producer of labor into the opportunity for expansion, and where to focus from the LBS Lagos Business School at a recent presentation in the This Day event gave a clear picture and a comprehensive gap in the agricultural supply chain and what the nation needed to do urgently to close these gaps. The successful expansion of our agricultural activities in the country, as most of the farmers who are currently feeding the nation are still operating. He said science is the most important requirement to agriculture, and he said to ignore and can lead to avoidable waste of funds while learning to require. Then we call on our partners and stakeholders here present in this sector to force we will help Nigeria to re-engineer the revolution required in the country's economy cannot be overemphasized. The loud yearning for a stronger and more prosperous economic and focused effort on the development or die. Export is the backbone of development and economic. Indonesia, India, and even the war-torn Somalia gradually rising in relevance in the world market through export. And make one which is that export could be achieved in prayers only. Export of agricultural commodities or products, as we know, is a very vast sector and entails education, testing, processing, inspection, branding, packaging, logistics, shipping, clearing, and then distribution to wholesale or retail markets. This is recognized by the Women in Export Trade and Investment, aka WETI. And like any other serious business organization, and making it plain to all, may run with us, may teach us, may train us, may lead us, may empower us and help us build the nation Nigerians export
The Nigerians are decisive about this. We know it is the tough terrain where little mistakes and miscalculations can discourage the most passionate and patriotic Nigerians. Face the tides and she knelt over and whispered. She said, when you start, run. She said, we have been running and we will not stop. We will only, but if we fall while running, we will hit the ground still running. The women in export trade and investment will run and we will not stop. We encourage our stakeholders and partners here present to discuss and close the world and get paid for it. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Wow. A queen and more. We give a round of applause to our WETI president. Thank you very much. And thank you so much again, Mrs. Efe, for that short breath exercise, considering where we find ourselves today. Of the Nigeria Export Promotion Council, Patience Afanide. Please help me with her welcome. She takes the stage of our good message.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I stand on existing protocol and I welcome everyone here in our office, Lagos. I'm here to represent the council and to give you my lead's goodwill. The Director, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Dr. Ezra Yabusa, and to congratulate the organizers of this event, a group founded to increase the mandate of the council to promote non-oil exports in Nigeria. The Nigerian Export Promotion Council Export Inclusiveness Program, which leads women-led businesses to increase institutional support, intervention programs, capacity building, market linkages, and access to market information, which allows women to compete in a trade dominated by the male gender. NAPCs for women-led businesses, helping them to imbibe the sustainable export culture and meet challenges and upheavals faced in the global marketplace. To the cause of women in export and intervention program for your members. And looking across the room, I see a lot of people that have benefited from NAPC training and retrainings. So I encourage you to, at this junction, permit me to reiterate that Nigerian SMEs, mostly dominated by youth and women, often underrepresented groups, are the drivers of economic development and are capable of changing the narratives of non-oil exports in Nigeria. Should be supported not just by Nigerian export trade and thereby having a nation where export of non-oil products will be what will feed the nation. Thank you very much and God bless.
Check, mic on two. Check.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Patience.
Celebrate you. Right about now, we want to call up someone who is a very well-known name in the export space. Dr. John Isemede is an experienced national expert with a demonstrated history of working in the international trade and development industry. He is skilled in negotiation, business planning, management, risk management, and strategic planning. Dr. John is a strong community and social services professional with the Master of Business Administration, MBAs of Benin and Lagos, Nigeria, Alliance Française, and Paris Graduate School of Management, France. Please join me make welcome Dr. John Isemede as he gives his keynote on the benefits of women participation in the Nigeria export sector. Please put your hands together for Dr. John as he takes the stage.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Existing protocol. I have been able to identify with the women today is not a new thing. of women in Abeokuta. They said that some people have benefited from NEPC. I am one of them. NEPC took me to 57 countries between 1988 and 2010 for 3 hours. But now I have to take the floor for 30 minutes. Export is very important because Nigeria cannot boast of. I studied in business in Uniben, export in University of Lagos, in the UK, France, the world. I cover FAO in African continent, so sometimes when people are talking, I just laugh. That is why today some of us are in-laws all over the place. Nigeria is poor. Nigeria is rich in resources. Nigeria is poor when you talk of per capita income. The UK was coming here to beg for money. Their population was 58 million, we were 53. Today we are 200,000 US dollar, ours is 2,000. Are we not a poor country? So today I want to look at the women. And everything I will give to you, I will be broken into 10. Not new to us, who were created with agriculture. And when the intervention started in 1972, some of you will still remember what they call operation. Because one thing we begin to realize in this country is that even the list of ministers and all that, they say only 7 women, the women are not talking. This is a country, as at the time we were born, or when Nigeria got independent, there was no Nigeria University. University of Ibadan was University College London. Became a full-fledged university in 1962. And we have Professor PK, the first Vice Chancellor installed by Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa in 1963. And today, people were coming to put money in Nigeria for more than 100 colleges of education, polytechnics, and all that. And in this same country, we are using over 600,000 to use over 4 trillion to import food. And you say we are not poor. So the beauty of the whole thing is that all these universities are narrated. None of them, all of them have the faculties of agriculture. And Nigeria with a population of over 200 million, we only have 3 universities of agriculture. And you expect less than 2% of the budget we have to feed about 500 million people. Is it only 2%? Why in the first place did we sign the UNESCO 26%? Have we ever put 10% in education or health and all that? So Nigeria is a poor country. It's a challenge to the women. But the collateral, what I studied in Pakistan, in India and all that is that women cannot run away. So when I get to your shop, I see little children and all that going to school, I give you credit. On Monday morning, I give you credit. On Friday, after the my service or Saturday like this, I go back and collect my money. So the economy of Senegal, of Benin, and so many other countries on the hand of women. And when we hear policies of Nigeria, does it affect children as if they will not go and come back? Look at the beautiful and painful picture I want to paint. We have this Abeokuta. Nigeria is a country where somebody will get banking and finance for College of Agriculture. Alright, in 1960, when Nigeria got independence, between 50 and 60% of the plantation we inherited for that we didn't have multiplicity of agencies and MPAs. We only have of our agriculture is the subsistence level. I did not know that women were involved in agriculture until when I worked in Ministry of Works. So 80% is what? Subsistence. 18% is commercial farming. So with all what is going on around the world, what are we doing to check the situation? We hear of that. Today my people are crying here and so on. I was in a hotel in Yola. Woke up in the morning, the whole place was flooded. What happened? They said they have opened Laduda. I went to Cameroon to see Laduda. He said sometimes people sleep here. If they are lucky, they wake up in Bayelsa. You know what that means? So because of Russia and Ukraine fighting the Middle East, that the bread my mother used to give to us at 6 pence is now 1 hour. And will say we are not poor. I said this. Some people were saying God forbid and all that. I said we don't know God. Take it one by one. I will only take two. Share water, Niger State. Niger State is bigger than Netherlands and Belgium combined together. Because it's friendly in France, sometimes I go to Belgium, still come back the same day, 26 kilometers. When I was in Malaysia, Malaysia is not as big as compared to Agro. They made over 35,000 US. In the world market in 1900, 27% participated. When oil was they are short with 75% and palm oil is at the pressure. I don't want to bother myself about the association which you own. I have seen widows who have no rights of occupancy or inheritance. Country as commodity with the human face. What is commodity? The way I carry Daniel beans from Benin to Lagos. I want to tell you that 30% of our women have no access to finance. Tell what to do. It's like when positions are given to Nigeria, that is when they know the port, when they know the border. And some of us, as I'm standing here, I have traveled by road from here to Senegal. I've traveled around the continent of Africa by road. That there is no way in the world where you close border. Because you have 6 borders in the world. What we signed into was not a free border, but a single border. And the violation of human rights, destruction of our property, based on the WTO we have signed. When Mrs. Okoje Wala was campaigning, they called me as if I want to see something to put against my sister. Because the 2 brothers who became in French secondary school. And when she was the Minister of Finance, I was the DG of National. And additional was the Minister of Agriculture. Look at the team at that time. 40% of women have no access. Transportation 10% and not. Either on individual level, because if you give somebody in Hong Kong anything your car, the first thing they will do is first of all check whether this business is registered. If the business is not registered, there's no fee. You have upstream, you know, agriculture has layers. Upstream means downstream and export. Upstream is when you talk of the women in the farm and they start with seedlings. Go and check what Kenya is using on improved varieties on yearly basis. Compared with Nigeria, we are the giant of Africa. What we did was we designed program when you apply fertilizer, the herbicides and all that. The second level, we go for storage, facilities, silos and all that. Because Nigeria is a country that you can use one truck to carry things. Use it to carry cement. I was in France. We were eating by the yam. We were told that and hours we cannot. Last year we lost 400 in to redemption. So who is carrying out research for the women? Who is on seedling? Where are the clusters? So when they want to trace you, they come to that place. Do things together. That is what I saw in Brazil. Today, Brazil is selling sugar to you. Where is Vatican? Malaysia is selling palm oil to you. Thailand is selling rice. These are still hosting with this ridiculous exchange rate. When I started exporting River Brothers, you will see me in Market Dadoba, to Nigeria Airways was carrying my goods, and I was moving around the world. And the dollar was less than 1 naira, which Nigeria to less than 300 naira. Now is how much? So the women are suffering because the women are the ones taking care of their husband. Cry out. What of the diaspora? Look at the Chinese. Look at the Indians. Is it 800 naira per liter you buy diesel? With the multiple checkpoints before you get to the port, where you don't even have a national carrier, and people advise Mr. President to close the border. They went to shipping line that you want to move your things to Ghana. The shipping line will tell you not go to your daughter, you go and turn it by 12. You want me to pay. No, you are turning to the people. In my place where the people is annoyed to be eating the ground, they damage. That is the situation. So the next thing is that before you embark on export, I continue to say it. I trained. I was sent back to school, University of Lagos, to go and learn French. I went to France. I went to Abidjan and Morocco. Before the seminar and workshop, I have written books used by the best universities in the world. When you tell Nigeria, they say, no, just tell me when you have this. It takes 7 years to read medicine. It takes 5 years to read law. It took me 4 years to read visa code, and took me 15 years to be a professional. You want to listen to me for 30 minutes, even to me to be an exporter. You want to go and export palm oil. Where will you get the palm oil from? Take from the market. Do you know the FFA? Who are you selling it to? Which chain have you been? So, when you talk of export, let me give you the A to Z. You cannot talk of export without import or shipping. And export is no head or tail. It depends on the agreement you are very into. Local business is different from international business. Language is different. Distance is different. Quality is different. If that's the one that will open the way for me, if that's the one will take me to work, it's better. So when I went to Saudi Arabia, they saw my passport job. After the Muslim, I said, we have businesses are not registered. Some people will take their goods to the port. When I was in Liver Brother, every Friday is lecture, and it was detailed. They will go to Westport Promotion Council, get certificate. And I told them, don't give certificate to people if you are not trained. As soon as they collect certificate, the owner will push them, go and meet John Semedo in Liver Brothers. And the school was open. Some have benefited. Since we left the system, today we still go. They will put people like me, training professors, Americans come. You want to talk of ECOWAS, you want to talk of this. Then, another thing, because the way you export beans is not the way you are going to the way No, somebody will tell you they have to give you standard. Where on earth do they inspect goods at the port or at the point of entry? Go to the airport, people are setting certificate on the table. Is it like that in Ghana and other places? If your lab is equipped, why do people take ordinary granite to Ghana for certification? I have a lot to say. Give me 2 minutes. I have done export to 27 countries. I worked in Egypt. I worked in Morocco. I worked in Kenya. I have trained a lot of people in Nigeria. But the problem we have is that people are always supposed to make money, which is not a crime, but follow the footsteps. We don't use flyover to run export. You will be blocked this one after the other. So, finally, when you talk of intervention, you talk of this, you talk of that. When there is problem in Nigeria, that is when they know they have journalism. When they are doing certain things, we are not qualified. We are not qualified to. What are the challenges? Challenges, 1 minute. Benefit, 1 minute. Then we will now see that and then is export worth doing. The first thing is the policies of government and the MPs. People will call me by 2 a.m. I want to do this, I want to do that. I don't work for government. I don't do this. They say, John, you can do it for us. Right inside your business. Link to the diaspora. Know the modules you belong to. Have a comprehensive costing based on 450. You can't use it at 450 now. Because if you go back to the market, you know that is what we call the current replacement. Funding, who is funding your association? What is the role of bank of industry? What is the role of Nexus? Because Indians here will go and get money from every bank of India. Why is Nexus and all are not giving you that loan? Finally, what of your packaging? Any joint venture, last but not least, what is better? And do things together. The unit of FX know how to do your conversion cost. They are some raw materials to import. Then the local one, how do you marry the two? Because they will beat you into the corner. They who are put inside, you cannot handle. It's not a marriage where you see, I know fit again. Because there is law, like the lecture I did in the University of Soka last year. What it creates job, microeconomic and macro for you, for the family, capacity utilization, product life cycle. When your product is not doing well here, it can do well. Like the way I was selling something. Another thing again is that you talk of risk. NSC strike, counter strike, this one. If you have market in other places, your business is strong. Foreign recognition, Toyota is not by every family here. Job losses reduce. Seasonal fluctuation reduce. You create a big market for yourself. Access to foreign finance, access to foreign technology, product diversification, and product modification. Thank you. Let me stop here.
Thank you very much, Dr. John. This is one man that definitely knows.
Doctor, please come up here. From all you hear from Doctor, I'm sure he's someone that we should honor. True of us. Can we all stand up on our feet, please? Thank you. And I would like to invite, yes, ma'am. You are just the one. I am like to invite one of our executives to Dr. John. Please join me, give them a round of applause. Thank you, Doctor, for all that you have done for Nigeria. Thank you for all you are doing for women. God bless you, Doctor. And this is his book. I got a book. Wow.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I celebrate you. Dr. John actually has an effect on most of us. So please, if you have any questions at all for Dr. John, kindly note it down in a piece of paper. We'll be taking to invite the first panelists for their session. This panel session is by the WETI ready exporters and farmers, and we'll be talking about building a sustainable agriculture and export business in Nigeria. Please put your hands together as I make welcome the panel. They are now going to come on stage. We have Florence Abu. We have Ade Ogunsi. We have Mrs. Abibola Onokomaya. Can you put your hands together for them and welcome you to our main panel? And this panel session will be moderated by Mrs. Inemesit Oyebanji. Please keep putting your hands together for them now we're happy. You're welcome, ma'am.
Can you hear me now? Yes, I can. Okay, so that was our first foray. We sort of got excited as I was planning to put back. One of the things that I want to talk about the issues, and then as I discuss the issues, hopefully the ladies on the stage with me will start to talk about the nice things, managing, procuring, etc. So the first thing has been with land actual certification. You go to all the OBAs, and then some of their grandfathers, aunties, uncles' land. So we've had all of that issue. We've also had the issue with herdsmen as well. So okay, that was something that we were warned about. And I don't think in terms of the country, we've really kind of sort of faced trying to plan, etc. It's really hard to manage risks when you have other factors that are outside the sort of boundaries of actual agriculture. So those are the two things that if I was to sit down and speak to somebody within ministries, government, is to have laws around ownership of land and also however, having said all of that, the wonder of working in agriculture, seeing a seedling become a field requirement, one of the requirements we're having to deal with is being organic. So we've also taken to producing our own fertilizers, our own pesticides, to be able to manage all of that and to have our soil regularly tested. So it's an extremely capital exhaustive people, farmers working together. That would also reduce costs. So one of the things that we have really sort of and also logistics in terms of transporting. You've grown all your goods, but being able to transport it, especially with rising cost of petrol, which we use petrol for our tractors, we use petrol. I'm going to pass it down the line because we've only got 15 minutes up here.
That they got and how they were able to surmount it, and I'm sure that we did get to hear about it as well. Okay, I'm hoping that we'll have time. I would like to come back to you to actually give us in detail how you sorted them out. But you've had successful agricultural business outside the country. You know, you've had it successful in other countries before you came in here. Say to us, how did it work outside the country, and how has the journey been now that you're in Nigeria? And if you are into exports, please also give us some highlights of how that works. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies, and good morning, gentlemen. My name is Florence. I'm a Kenyan lady living now in from a farm. My grandparents were farmers, my parents are farmers, and I have now decided from that we have run, and now we're starting a new farm in Nigeria. And over and above the challenges that she has talked about in Kenya, one of the things that I find that is a big challenge is seed. You'll be looking for tomato seedlings or tomato seeds, and there's not available in the market. You'll be looking for pepper seeds, and if we as women can talk to companies that produce these seeds and seedlings, we have maybe one or two companies, Western, one other company that provides seedlings. They don't provide training. So you find farmers are still training or are still planting their crop in the old past. The method that they are using is so aged, and that is why a lot of farmers are perceived as poor. Is so aged. Times more. There is abundance of rain. We go through droughts in Kenya, and we don't have as much rain as you do. The land is not even as fertile as you have it in Nigeria, but yet the production is more, I think, in Kenya than we have it in Nigeria, and it's all about training. So we need to, the young man who spoke earlier spoke about a few universities that are agricultural universities. If they can team up with farmers to give us training on how to plant certain things and to grow them in a commercial level. The other challenge that I see is a big difference is availability of also agronomists in the country. And you know, there are different stages when you've planted these things. So you need enough agronomists, and we don't have enough of ground. And even when you look for them, there's a huge gap and a huge challenge. And that would be in export, to have good quality products, because we can be able to account for what we've planted, and the ladies in export can assuredly be assured that whatever it is that they're exporting, if they're tested in the various labs in whichever countries they go to, the commodity is good. Quite a few other challenges.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Agu. And I think for the first two speakers, they've actually highlighted challenges, and we've also noticed the gaps. And as WETI, I see we are seeing gaps where we are going to fill up from here. Like she said in her, these are areas where we need to look out for. I didn't ask, do you export too, or you still produce within the? I mean the mystery. Yes, please.
So the
Mike. Sorry, the mic.
So the moringa, we would grow the seeds, we grew them from seedlings, but it's the next generation. So the next generation were not as hardy. So it's also looking into the science behind the seed, and we're not talking about it as a country, as what the implications of the fact that a lot of the crops that we're producing have our own seeds and to harvest them.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, part of other gaps that we also need to, that we have enough sick leave and also trainings. So these are action points that we would gather together and see how we are going to move it forward. That's the essence of having a panel discussion. We have our stakeholders here, we have those that we know that can help, make these things happen. So we've seen all of that and where different stakeholders can fit in. Thank you very much. Okay, so coming next is Mrs. Odusi. Yes, ma'am. You came into the export world or the agricultural world with your clear vision for what you want as stakeholder. Any of our regulators, and how do they come through for you? Can you please share your experience with us? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And I'd like to really appreciate our CEO, FASIM, for all the efforts that she has made to know that this is just something of five months and we are where we are. But I can tell you that the vision has been long conceived before our objectives, our goals to bring us here. Sharing my experience, I want to also thank Dr. Semide. I think my running me for more than 30-something years now. When he was mentioning where he has been, I like to say that I was with some of those countries, 80s, and my friend and former neighbor here, while I was still doing culture club, you can remember that, collect that. So that was when I started my experience. I didn't start it then with a clear, and by the way, I'm a farmer. I'm the first agribusiness graduate in Nigeria. I graduated in 1979 with an agribusiness degree. But the degree from 1986. So my adventure into food is not strange. But I started with a company called Culture Club. We were manufacturers of ties. We were also the first to set up a store to sell ready-made garments that you can come and buy off the rack in any sizes. So this was as far back as 1985. And so NEPC is not the NEPC we know now. The NEPC found that there can be a better way. So I started to look for specific, specialized trade fairs myself to exhibit at the Javits Center in New York, $4,000 in those days. But I was determined that they don't sell cash. They don't spend cash. They spend sector. I had no inkling about how, and so their $20 is just to buy. We finished. I went and asked the other vendors, especially those who were not from America, how were you able to? And they told me, and they took me to a discount on your Diners card or MasterCard, and they would just take 15% and give you your cash instantly. So I just added the 15% to my cost, so they got it from me. So now, where am I going? The export business is not beans. I thank Dr. Isenede Yanome there. It's a painstaking, regulated, and highly demanding process. I was furnishing all their accommodation. Because I had looms at the Nigerian textile mills that were weaving the cloth, the base cloth, and mesmerizing it for me to do my batik. So you can't find them in the market. But when NCM was sold and became a SAC, I did not want to operate below my standard. So I fell back to my agriculture and agribusiness. Now, what are the things? Institution actually, I think, is yourself. I'm talking to my fellow female exporters here. Yourself. You need to develop. You can go anywhere. Groups are nice. The network is nice because it brings us many benefits. Collaboration is the order of the day. Research by yourself. In those days, we didn't have this opportunity. I have to always travel to find the ways to do them. You know what the trends are in 5 years' time. We will always be in business that appeal to them. Different products have colors that you can package them with. Some of us, yellow juice, Zobo, was the first I put dates. Taste the sucralose. You can taste the aspartame And they tell you, I'm splitting this only with, but it won't work abroad. In that you do. I can tell you, for myself, the distributor me, no goods are there. It's very critical to yourself. You have not. These are the things Dr. Semede mentioned. Dr. Shaukat. He said you're a very serious-minded person. Product, and I studied the trend. But it is good they have transformed. They are the ones that will help with the standard he's talking about. I know all these things, especially, you know why I said so? Wanted the business with the goal of what I lost. I said I didn't want to use intensive. NAPC exposed me to Canada that I learned all, but it was because I went to the TFO Canada training, and you can search it. University. There is the Exports Academy. I don't know Exports. CNA. They are called 2 years.
We were speaking to people that we never would have. Top buyers of big companies and corporations. These things are important. I cannot afford it. I can't afford to pay for those services. But imagine talking to MD of Carrefour or Kehi, the biggest distributor in America. When you join them, you will find that it is very helpful for you. I would like to stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, ma, for sharing. Okay, right immediately we are going to move to Madam Abimbola. She operates in a very I won't say peculiar, but we'll be asking your son, if it's not the exporters.
My name is Bimbo Nokumaya, and I have been in insurance for situations that will involve the male that are involved and insurance, so that you can insurance the bank for insurance, so that you can insurance the bank for any form of indemnification, putting you back in your former position anytime you have some form of finance. As somebody said, I had a client, in the north, but unknown to them, what is supposed to happen is that the dam is supposed to be opened at specific times. But for some odd reason, the dam was opened at a time when it was not expected. So the whole rice farm got flooded. As a matter of fact, we went for the insurance. They claimed in a good position and would have been lost. And so that is the main benefit of insurance, to give you the peace of mind where you can now focus on your own core competence. Have insurance for it. There's livestock insurance, to the extent that even for the livestock now, if you go from, say, Maiduguri to Lagos, you get in Lagos, along the road, they switch your cattle. So it has gone, it has gone to the extent now that we now inside them, so that it is a living insurance for those that are into it. Here said, Mrs. Odusi, it is not everything that you can feed your cat, but this is not supposed to be so. To incidents that take place within, it has to be proven that it is about 95% of when it comes to this. Even your insects, for you, take go to a point that the insurance now focus on your own core competence. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Madam.
Okay, with exports, 2022, I will manufacture, both of them was $10 insurance. Why was I able to make a claim? When they showed the signature, it was not 2 weeks. I got all my money back. Everything. And in 2 weeks, I shipped another consignment to my. If I had lowered the cost, they will only pay me what I got insured. If you did not insure, you lost your money. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Juicy. Once again, she has shown us, in addition to what Madam Anui. Thank you very much, every one of our panelists. It's been insightful, like I said. I've had quite a number of judges for lack of get their information. Like Madam Abimbola now, I need to have her information. I need to register with her company for insurance for my business. Thank you so very much, ma'am.
Thank you. We'll just take the pictures now with this panel members. Thank you. Aren't I blessed to have this crop of women with me? Ooh, I'm feeling so good. Look at them. Come. Put your hands together for them again. I'm so happy. Sorry, I need to interrupt this program so we can move faster because of time. I know that we have a lot to say because this is the first group that is doing this kind of thing. So yes, there will be a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Please put your hands together for the president of WETI. Moving forward, we'll be calling up a representative of the MD Bank of Industry, Mr. Ovaro Marvel Osa. He's the divisional head SME South 2. Please let's welcome him upstage for his keynote message.
Thank you very much. I've been asked to recognize time, so I'm going to move a little bit fast. First, let me bring to all of us the greetings from the Managing Director of the Bank of Industry, Mr. Olukayode Piton. I am here to represent him, and I have a prepared text. So you allow me, please, to go to that text before I can express my own personal love. So I read verbatim without any editing. The theme of my discussion is Women in Export Trade and Investment, launching an official. I'm delighted to join you today at the official launch of the Women in Export Trade and Investment Organization Committee Services. I would like to commend the leadership of their excellent work and foresight in organizing this initiative, which has the potential to increase the performance of trade, export, and investment activities in Nigeria. As we all know, global and national economic growth and represent one of the key pillars aimed at enhancing the economic diversification agenda of the federal government of Nigeria. These higher obstacles to trade than men as a result of legal prohibition to economic participation in trade and trade rules. To ensure that trade enhances opportunities for everyone, regardless of gender, it can gain from participating in trade activities globally. We therefore need more organizational strong candidates for significant export growth with more access to information and capital to realize their global potential. That is the Bank of Industry is Nigeria's oldest and most successful development financial institution, including agro-processing, ICT, that's information, communication and technology, solid minerals, creative industries, renewable energy, etc. The bank has also channeled dedicated resources towards financing women-owned and youth businesses. In line with this mandate, we play a significant role in supporting Nigerian businesses by providing innovative financial support, largely single-digit interest rates, long tenure periods, and reasonable moratorium period. The primary drivers of our development strategy are geared towards supporting businesses and enterprises whose activities to the international markets. We are in partnership with the African Export-Import Bank to establish special economic processing zones in the 6 geopolitical regions of Nigeria. We are also in partnership with the African Development Bank and the federal government to act as the implementation partner for the establishment of the Special Agro-Processing Zone, SAPC. We also have collaboration with the Nigerian Export Promotion Council in managing prices in the non-oil value chain. BOI is a member of the Senate Committee of the National Action Agreement inputs into the shaping the Nigerian export to AFTA from a policy perspective, as well as offering practical support to our customers. We are also a key collaborator in the annual Intra-African Trade Fair, organized every year by the Afrexim Bank in collaboration with the African Union. The event is a first of its kind within the continent, offers a platform for sharing trade, investment,
and market information, and enabling buyers and sellers, investors, and countries
to meet, discuss, and conclude business. The bank regulates Agri-Expo, Lagos Trade Fairs, leather fairs, fashion fairs, Lagos Shoe Hub event, etc. At this junction, I would like to congratulate WETI again for the timely introduction of this initiative. I do believe that our continuous collaboration with economic growth and export performance of our country. This is coming from my MD. My few remarks are to say that nobody can build this country of our dream alone. We have to work together. No institution can have all the solutions to the problem. The current currency is collaboration and partnering and work together. The better we work together, the better we can build a very big country. So personally, I'm happy to be here with this, inviting me to join the meeting. And after that session, he invited me again to say, what's your opinion? I said, I'm quite excited. It's okay, work with them, ensure you attend their events, and thereafter, you give me feedback. So when I leave here now, I'm going to do a summary report back to my MD. Please take seriously the comments from the first panelist. I also taking notes. I want to take a lot of notes. So let's work together to build a better country of our dream. Thank you very much.
Please celebrate him once again as he makes his way to his seat. Thank you. Moving forward, and these partners are distinguished representatives of reputable organizations, and we'll be talking about funding and industrial standing, Nigeria Export Promotion Council, Nigeria Custom, and the Bank of Industry. Please, if we have all these representatives in the house, I would like them to make their way up stage. Please keep jamming your hands together for them. This segment.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful time. My name is Yobo Sassani, and I'm the moderator for this amazing panel for today. Are we ready? Okay. I know that those of us that are WETI members, we're excited about this panel. And I'm going to be starting with a representative from the NAP. I will start with you. Is that okay? All right. We will be very brief. We'll try and keep to time as much as possible. I'm sure that we'll find some time for questions later in the day. Okay, so definitely you know that export is our major business. But one of the things I would like for you to, on your site and some of those other articles that we've read over time, there is little to no, in quote, useful information to guide me appropriately. So, where do we get information for export? I want to export my products. I have products that have been we would like to know the reason why and what you intend to do about it for us. Because for us in WETI, it's important that we can easily access you and all of our other partners to lead us, to guide us, and to give us real-time and important information on what to do to ensure that we are relevant in the export community.
So thank you very much again, everyone, and thank you for having this room. So I will not be repeating anything anyone has said here about anything. But what I will tell you is, I don't know how many people have visited our site today in this room. Anybody? So I tell you, if you visit our website today, all the information you need, everything that has been said in this room today, it's on that website. So it is very friendly, very accessible, and then there are phone numbers, contacts for all the categories that you need. And then what I will also leave with the organizers of this event, WETI, I don't know if you have heard about BSO, Directory for Women. It's on our website. Just go there, register. It's for the purpose of networking, information on what we do, the kind of training we visited our website last, that I tell you the information part.
So it's been upgraded. Thank you very much. Another concern for us is the rising cost of air freight. Number one, because I would just like for you to address it together. The rising cost of air freight, traveling through shipments and on the water. So, is there something that, I'm sure you've heard about this concern from maybe some other bodies?
Yes,
okay, so
at that point,
is there something that can be done to ensure that it's made easier for us? That's firstly. And then secondly, we've had so many reports of a lot of ban on indigenous products but aside from the obvious ones, we have indigenous products that can only be exported from here. If there's a ban on those products, and it makes the commodities that we can work with very limited. So those concerns that I am sure has been raised over time, is there something that NPC is doing to help in those aspects?
So thank you very much. Yes, NPC has been working tirelessly and a lot. We have revamped capacity building, we have trained, we have retrained, we have partnered with and collaborated with agency, organization, MDAs, locally, internationally, to just get it right with the export business. But we keep having issues of rejects and all. And I know that recently my ED had traveled with a group of related trade agencies to find out what's going on. And the certification program of NEPC is also ongoing. But the challenge we also face as an organization is, why is the compliance rate so little with all that we have put in? If you look at the database of issues, we have about 200 women and it is ongoing. So we have collaborated with agencies, we have collaborated with compliance so far. What are exporters doing wrong? So my ED CEO, when he took over the mantle of leadership of NEPC this last 2 years, he said, I think we need to do something. When she was talking about integrity, that was what came up. Okay, how do we revamp? How do we put the consciousness of export in the heart of everyone? Here has said, it's not something, you don't cut corners. There are no sharp practices with export. We can train you, we can do all that we need to do. Then when you get back to your room, you do something different, then NEPC has to come up with the export for survival mantra. And why is this? Is to put the consciousness of export in the heart of everyone and telling us that we must imbibe the right culture for export. So therefore, training for certifications, process of export, the step-by-step process of export. And to say something that he mentioned about and this is export for beginners, and you are asking me for market. So why won't you get rejected? Because after I take 2 hours telling you what to do,
You go to your room and do what you want to do because you want to do export. And then to also answer a specific, we're trying to do one in collaboration with NACO, and it's about 90% completed. That we're hoping we address some of these issues of we just one of so many.
Thank you very much. We know that there are a lot of challenges with the exports in the export business, but for us as women exporters, okay, thank you very much, and PC, thank you very much. And that leads to partners. We found that it's a little bit difficult to export from Nigeria. Are we actually an export enabling nation? Because I find that a lot of our exporters, they find it easier to leave Nigeria and go to help us with that. Because I feel that maybe it's tariff related, maybe it's fees. They live here, buy the products, they go there, and then move them from there.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Seriously, what custom actually do to exportation is just inspection. What do customs do on export? Inspect the goods, then you go through all the necessary things you're supposed to do, and we give you a go ahead. But if you don't have the standard, if you are not certified by the certification of all by the agencies, we won't export for you. We don't have a say. All we do is
these are actually people that are certified. They have all of that documentation.
Okay, in the tariff we have Schedule 6 of our Common External Tariff. There is what is called Export Prohibition List. So if your goods is among the Export Prohibition List, it won't go because it's on the prohibition list.
Okay, their products are certified, but for them it's cheaper. Maybe I should use that word. Cost is cheaper to go there and do it. Why?
Does export takes money? When you export, you get proceeds for your exportation. That's what you get.
Yes.
Through CBN or through your bank. That's when you get your proceeds for your.
You would answer what I'm asking. Okay. Banks here. We have Paralex Bank, right? And then we have the Bank of Industry. We've talked about costing. We've talked about information. Started doing more in the export-related industry now. Can you just briefly tell us what it is, monies, grants, loans, as women in exports? Should I start with you, Parallel?
Good afternoon, everybody. To go straight to the because of the current FX regime and CBN pronouncement. If you don't do export, one of the days where we all go to CBN, the retail market to get money, but that is not the issue now. So the critical question that people will ask here is the issue of collateral. So let me be upfront with that before you ask me. Collateral. That is usually the major issue. What do you have to secure this facility? And sometimes you won't blame us because every bank has its policy facility. Even if you don't want to take security, IFRS that all banks are trying to. However, looking at export, we've come to see that a lot of people who are in export don't have landed property, so how do we finance them? We must finance them. So one of the things we have come up, or a lot of people are now trying to do, is to do some PMAs, that is collateral management agreement. There are a lot of these people in town now that we can sign all these agreements that we are doing to finance exporters now. And again, another thing you must have at the back of your mind is most financial institutions does not want to finance and several other things like that. However, one of the things we advise, we want to go into export, it is not compulsory you must export with trailer, big trailer. Sometimes when they come to us, we start as an advisory services. Okay, why don't you send sample out first? When you send sample out and it is accepted, then come and let us start scaling it up gradually. By that, and when they started small, the big part they have today, what is happening here, they were now growing, with them. So with that, if you come, we give you that advisory services and you big people that everybody is running after. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, aside from funding, you're also going to offer advisory service.
BOI, as I said earlier, we are the oldest DFI in Nigeria. The bank was established in 1959. And our purpose of establishment, and industries means production, it means value addition. It means moving from the primary agricultural products to add value to what you have, and then that value can either be sold locally or exported. And to add value on the foreign industry means an equipment you need for your production of power, or you are funding one capital, which is the raw material required to continue to maintain some of the sugar or the margarine. That part is called one capital. And we do this at below commercial interest rate. So, cents per annum, and we can give you up to 5 years to repay. We also give you moratorium of ranging between 6 months and 1 year, which is defined in narrow sense because we look at connect to industries, raw material requirements. We also provide funding up to 3 years at 12%. We offer the longest in the market today. So BOI is going to be, and this is what we've done for the past 63 years. We support. You should produce for the local community or the local environment where you have 200 million people. Then after, you can push it to Africa where you have 1.3 billion people. It is when you make these needs, you can decide to go to Europe and America. Because today, we are import dependent and we are doing everything we can to halt that import drive. And the only way to do that is to produce locally. Everybody is important. So our focus is to drive local production and local GDP in Nigeria. And we've done that for some years, and I think our Vice President is going to do that across where your farm is located. There's a nearest Bank of Industry office located to you that you can go and make inquiries. You can also go to our labs, that these are there, our office addresses, telephone numbers, contact office, and all of everything is in the website. So you can call anybody and make an inquiry. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, BOI, you're ready for WETI, right?
Yes.
Yes. You're ready for us?
I said yes.
Because we are ready for exports.
I said yes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, there's a question over there. We'll just take a few questions. I've already, should I write it?
Check.
Okay. There's one here, Fred. I think he's going to ask the question I actually asked before that was not answered. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure being here. And I want to first of all say a big congratulations to all the members of WETI. And I'm very proud to be your member in diaspora. And I want to thank all the panelists that shared your for us to export from Nigeria. So I'm going to answer that question from the point of people living abroad who receive goods from Nigeria. First of all, as Nigerians, I've lived abroad for quite some time, and I know the collateral damage of being in Nigeria, how it affects me in everything, damage when it comes to being in Nigeria. And if we want to interact with the outside world, then, like I always say to my children, remember that you're going to have to show excellence and you have to show commitment. And as a Nigerian, there's no room for shortcuts. There's no room to say, this is how we do it, let's manage it. Because you're competing with people who expect excellence from you. So if we want to export, if we want to be recognized as an exporting country, we need to put our acts together and And that comes from very minute things that we take for granted here in Nigeria. For instance, packaging. Instant quality for it to be packaged and to be sold abroad when we can do it here. Why? Because we're not diligent enough to do things the right way. We are always in a hurry. We always seek the shortcut instead of going through the profit as you start your business. Then we're going to change the reputational damage we have as a country and as business people. Export. Nigerians to export things. We need to improve our quality of service, our interaction. I just wanted to share that. So there is no obstacle on our way. We are the obstacles of our own export. Children succeed. Make sure your marriage is working strong. That is the kind of minute detail you need to be a female exporter from Nigeria.
Thank you. My name is Ido Shepherd. When you're doing export, I used to be in production until I started working. When you're doing export, most of the time you find out that, as she said, we have shortcuts. The product itself, they have certain standards when you're exporting. If you do not meet those standards, your goods will be returned. Especially when your finished products like clothes and things like that are okay. But when you have like your coconut oil, you have your soap, you have different homemade things, and even our traditional based natural products, you find out that you use the quantity and you write measurements. We try to reduce or have shortcuts. When you're exporting, they have standards. If you do not meet those standards,
please, if I may say, the Nigerian Customs Call mandate. Hello. Please listen to everything together. Okay.
Thank you very much. When you talk of quality in export, it's a relative term because it's the buyer. When you talk of reputation, that is very correct. I have exported to run export. I said here that Nigeria cannot boast of 5 export managers. So the greatest problem, even after rejection and all this, there is no punishment. If there is punishment, we will be in this mess. Because the EU gave us 2018, and we submitted that document to government on how to run export without dropping the battle, because export is a relay. Today, that document is not signed. Nigeria has no trade policy for 22 years. Check what do you call it? Incoterm. If Nigeria runs into borders. So, Export Promotion Council note it because there is no punishment. On the customs, I don't want to start from 1958. Cost 1991, May 21st, to Ministry of Finance, which is not a problem. But the problem we have is that the target for business in this country is on the import side. Exporters are not giving targets. I came here and I gave you a stretch of how to run export on a single window. Can you share that of inspection? You are only to carry out physical examination. What is pushing people to Benin Republic and all that? Because I work in all the ports for that to take across from here to Senegal. What is the problem is the problem caused by CBN right on the 21st of March 1997. You ask us to export and we get our proceeds. And when the proceeds come, you have 15 different exchange rates. Who is the rejection? We are talking of this and all that. Out of the NDAs we have in Nigeria, just mention one where the laboratory is approved. I am standing here today, I'm proud that I am a product of Univet. If I bring out my certificate, the result is injected. They leave exporters in to suffer. after giving them paper. Custom project or people going to Benin Republic, I don't want to give you 10 same languages and dialect, and I can point out the border posts and all that, and what is moving, share border and all that. People turnaround of a trip here is about 23 days. And even to enter the port, how can we run a country where there is no multimodal system of transportation? What are we getting on tariff to the Niger Republic? We are building a trade and we close border. Nigeria has not started something, but we pray for people like us to get Nigeria out of this doldrum.
If I may say, Nigeria Customs Service, our core mandate is to facilitate trade. Please, if you are not doing legitimate trade, I promise you, you will not get import or export. It's the fact. Yes, it is.
For men, from SDS.
All those are legitimate. Now, when you talk of Canada is involved in inspection. Okay, you said physical examination. I think that would be correct word. Physical examination, not inspection. Now, when you bring your goods and you declare what you have declared that we export, please, I know a lot of people have grievances on customs with imports. Please, let's not drag it into exports. Please. I know Nigeria Customs Service will put in, for the fact that we have a new government, I'm talking about my Controller General of Customs, who is passionate about the Nigeria Customs Service, passionate about the Nigerian system, and to make sure that the border was closed at a particular time, was to see if the system inside can work, to ensure that the system is within. He made a comment. He said you should make your product available for the 200 people, 200 million Nigerians before you export within the country. That was what brought about local rice these days, and reduction of importation of foreign rice. It helps.
Yes.
It helps the system.
Okay.
Secondly, you talked about dollar rates, that the dollar rates keep changing on the system. Please, the Nigeria Customs Service are only implementers of policies. We don't give the policies. We are under the Ministry of Finance, like you said. CBN are the ones that even regulate it on our system. Not we. Just implement.
Thank you very much. I think this panel has been enlightening. A lot of questions were answered, but we will need to wrap up here right now. I'd like to thank my panelists. I think what we just want is for all of our partners to make it easier, make the turnaround time shorter, make it easier for us to do our business. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know that this session will be heated. That's why they came today. The idea is we have introduced ourselves to ourselves, right? So that when we meet in the office, we know what we are talking about. We are one of our very valuable partners. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Honestly, we'd like to go into the very next session and quickly, can I have that, please? You can see how they are smiling. It's because we have established a relationship. True of us. Exactly, that's the idea. Okay, very quickly, one house please. Very quickly, we'll go straight to the next panel session. I'd like to invite our representative. Wait to me if you want to hear from NAMDA. Okay, you have a lot of people. And we also want to invite, and we also would invite our representative from Sweden. She here. My friend, thank you to see you can come on board. And while they are coming and settling, I quickly would like to invite our representative from Parallel ITs that they were ready for us. And I'd like her to come here and say it in front of you that they are ready.
so that we can what? Hold them when we are having a conversation in the office. Said to us. Exactly, it's being recorded, and a copy of the recording shall be sent to your office. Thank you so much. You're welcome, and I am gladly handling this conversation. Aren't I blessed? Can I have my phone, please? Someone help me with my phone. That doctor had with us. When he finished, the women bombarded us with questions. Even those that were there and those that were not there heard about the session, and they sent questions after the session. And those questions we would ask, we would hope that you'll be able to answer. One of them typically is on the cost. The cost of registering our product on NAFDAC, with NAFDAC, it's claimed to be very, very high. Now, it may not have been significant if every other thing is okay, but in the country today, by the time you put together every item, every cost item, your product becomes what? Not trying to explain this during our online session, but we have many more people here. And by the way, there are hundreds of people online watching this session from all across the world. We have people from the US watching this session. Doctor, they also would like to know, can something be done about the way we register an extension, a product extension? Do you have a concern about that? A product, and then, because she said her item has been with NAFDAC, Victoria, for how many years? For 2 years, sir. So we'll join, thank God doctor is here, and your matter is resolved. And then the cost of registering the extension, product extension.
All right, thank you very kindly, Madam President. I commend you for what you are doing for bringing women together to go into the export business. Now, first of all, before I say anything, let me say this upfront that we need to completely disabuse our mind from what NAFDAC is. If we come from that, much. On the contrary, everything is really very easy in NAFDAC. Now, when it comes to the issue of exports, my incumbent lady has actually created a directorate for MSMEs because we realize that we can't treat them the same way we treat the giants in the industry, the Nestle's, the Cadbury's, and all that. So we have a separate directorate called the LSO, Lagos State Office, that attends to MSMEs. And if you go there, the cost of registering a product under MSA is the lowest in NAFDAC. It's analysis, it involves registration, it involves the certificate. So really, what we are charging for MSMEs, in fact, as a matter of fact, we are also democratizing to have industries we are just doing that in the confines, just a one-man person, just you and maybe one staff. We are producing your kitchen or something like that. Cottage MSME is just something thousand naira. That includes your registration, laboratory analysis, and all that. So I think we'll be fair enough waivers and concessions to MSMEs. For example, late registration and all that. We are given blanket clearance to open the window this year and allow people to just renew without paying. So from time to time, my DG gives a lot of incentives, a lot of waivers. The matter has been resolved. At the end of today's session, please just hold your gas wrapper, exchange your card, book an appointment, go to his office. We are resolved. Absolutely. Think about Nexim Bank. Nexim Bank, by the way, is the Nigeria Import and Export Bank, right? And as the women in export, we like to know. Export, like our mamas here that spoke earlier on. And then we have those that are being trained into export, that are doing export unofficially. And then we have those that we are training because we want to be able to develop at least 200 women in export for Nigeria every year. Now, how can we benefit, given our demographic, how can we benefit from your product and from your operations?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for giving it fit to invite Nexim. Okay, Nexim is the Nigerian Export-Import Bank. So our mandate mainly is to provide finance, risk-bearing facilities, business women, and your business is export-oriented. Non-oil sector, you can come to us mainly for funding. So we offer loans at concessionary interest rates of 9%. I think we are the best in the industry as of now. It's far below market level. And I want to also say thank you.
You can hear the noise in the house, right? Okay.
So we at Exim Bank, we've been doing this for quite a long time. We've been supporting businesses in the sector, services, and also solid minerals. And if you see businesses operating under these sectors, the labor, the people who carry out the manual labor and the work are carried out by mostly women. So by funding, but in addition to that, Nexim has a product specifically for, it's an acronym called YF. So that is the women and youth export facility. These products were designed for businesses that have a turnover of less than 100 million per annum. So the requirements to access these facilities is very easy. You have your application. You need to make an application of 20,000 naira for a single obligor. We can give out a loan of 100 million number, your detailed financials, 3 years. Then you must have a good business plan for us to work with. So we can give you the loans at 9%, as I said. And
what's the base? What's the base? Is there a base?
There's no base.
There's no base.
No.
So women here that are just kicking into export that has a 2 million turnover can latch in.
They can come.
We can come as WETI, we can come as individual organizations. Exactly. Women, are you with me? Yes. Do we have a deal? Yes. All right, thank you so much, sir. We will be visiting next week.
So
is it collateralized?
Yes. Like I said, there's not like clean lending, but
okay.
We can also accept movable assets and asset debentures.
Okay.
That is the loan, the collateral we charge on your assets.
Okay.
Yes. Over time.
We will work it out. We will visit your office, sir.
So our office is at Gerald Road. I will give my contact, and I think we'll continue from there. We'll take conversation from this room.
Thank you so much. Before I go on to the next session, I'd like to invite one more guest to this school. Please let's welcome Gregory to the seat as well. The reason why he's here, you know, we want to commit them also to training. Thank you. Remember during my speech we said it that Dr. Chukwuemeka from the Lagos Business School actually mentioned science. So we don't want to make the mistake, right? Like Madam did all her years. We want them to train us, true of us. Thank you. So you're welcome, Gregory. Thank you. Over to you, Tosin. From all that Sneden has been doing, and we've heard so many wonderful things. In fact, some of our members have been trained, and we say thank you for it. Now, meeting us officially now, how do you think we can benefit from what you're doing?
Thank you for that question. Good afternoon, everyone. And I must congratulate you for this wonderful initiative and this wonderful association. It's something that I'm very, very passionate about women, and I'm so that we are standing out in whatever we do. So I work for SMEDAN, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria. We are the government agency in the country. So I bring you greetings from my DG, Dr. Olawale Fasonya. He is a very, very wonderful person that has a business. So for WETI to gain from SMEDAN, we have a lot of programs that are trainings for women in business. We train them on entrepreneurship trainings. We also do other trainings such as packaging and branding. You want to go into exports, we teach you on the standards that is required abroad and how to package your products properly. We also take our entrepreneurs abroad. I can see some of your members that are people that benefited from the trade fair through SMEDAN in abroad. Yes, people that have wonderful products that we can showcase abroad to show that Nigeria has wonderful entrepreneurs. So when we take some of the costs on us So it's easier for the entrepreneurs to go over there with the products.
Pack your bags, lady, we're going abroad.
So we do these fairs at China, also doing about 4 countries outside of Africa. So Smedan is very, very passionate about women. Was 41 million. But after a lot of people lost their jobs, women became the breadwinners of families, which showed you that women are very, very resilient. Looking at all this, checking the statistics of women in business in Nigeria against men in business in Nigeria, we have 59% of men in business in Nigeria, and we have 41% women in business in Nigeria. Why is this that way? It's not as if these numbers cannot go higher than that, but because women are, women run the home, and most women especially the north, they are under their husbands. So they don't have avenues to move out to do businesses. So what we are trying to do is that we are trying to encourage women to do businesses more. And this WETI is a very, very wonderful initiative. You see a lot of women having wonderful products, but because they cannot network to join associations like this, the business goes off. The business just dies off like that. They stay at home, and all that wonderful idea goes like that. So we encourage associations, we encourage this kind of wonderful initiatives to make sure that women are encouraged and they are identified to join the businesses. Thank you very much.
So ladies, WETI Bank is one of the US banks in Nigeria, and I have no fear to mention their name, because they have come to boast that they can do so much for us as women in X. I think you can come in and support us.
Okay, good afternoon. WETI Bank is the first microfinance bank in Nigeria to transition into a commercial bank. So we used to be a microfinance bank. And you know what it means to be a microfinance bank? It means that we're actually financing people in the micro space. And based on that, we're able to grow to be able to transcend into a commercial bank. Now, being a commercial bank, we have not forgotten where we came from. We've not forgotten the things that are important. And good a thing when I spoke to FA for us as a bank to do some more, with the women in exports. My colleague was here earlier, and he talked about why banks should export. So for us in Paralex Bank, we are very heavy to the real sector. We have the agri desk in the bank that will partner with you. Bank of Industry. You call them big brothers in the sense that all that I said earlier on, that 9% a commercial bank. So you need to be able to, they will look at your turnover, they will look at your business, they will look at everything. They will look at it to us one time that anything worth doing is worth training for. So as women in exports, you at whatever level you come to a bank, they will be able to appraise you on that level. Because what the bank does is that they appraise you 10 million turnover per annum. We should be able to see the turnover in your account. That's the only way. You understand? So sometimes they'll tell you, to come to a bank, we know we're working on it now. I have to have, if my business is not registered, if I'm having just an enterprise that doesn't even have any shareholding or something, maybe it's time for me to, put that in place. Gradually like that, you start building yourself and preparing yourself to become the company or the individual that banks will be chasing in future. Because the truth is that they always say banks, so they have to go with the regulation, and it is not difficult. The other lady was talking about integrity, collateral damage being in Nigeria and all that. Yes, there's collateral damage being in Nigeria, but there are also areas where Nigerians have been celebrated. She did this, she did that. So we actually have mentors that we can follow through, to make sure that we are the best of we that we can be. So the truth is that for Paralex Bank, we're ready to support you. We will support you with Bank of Industry, we'll support you with Nexim, But the truth is that you can't get to them if you don't pass through us. And you can only pass through us if your structures are right. Structures are just structures. You can have a 1 million naira structure. You can have a 500,000 naira structure. You can have a 5 billion naira structure. But a structure you must have. And that is why we are here with WETI today.
I like the banks. You know, when you ask the banker, they turn the question. By the time they finish answering the question, you carry your bag and you go home. Okay, so what we heard from you, Tina from Parallax, is that we must put our structures in place. And believe me, all our financial institutions that are here with us, I know that we have Fidelity Bank here, who has pledged to support us strongly. I know that we have Access Bank as well, who has pledged to support us strongly. Believe me when I say that WETI is ready to do what it takes. We're going to work with the likes of my next colleague here, LBS, to ensure that our women are trained properly to have the proper structure, so that when they come to you, when we come to you, it will be a seamless journey. However, I'd like to please ask all my colleagues here, particularly those of us that are at the financial desk, because you are most likely the first person that we will come to. So please have some desk that can mentor. Please do. You can work with the likes of the LBS. Just have some desk. In a year, let that person or that desk KPI be the number of people that have been mentored. Okay, not just empowered, mentored. Okay, so let that be the KPI of that desk. It would help, because if you keep saying you're not doing it right, you're not doing it right, who will train us now? By the time we go to LBS, please, how much is your fees? Take the mic. How much is your fees? How many women can afford LBS? Mama, you're laughing. Okay. You know, my colleague earlier said that we provide advisory. Thank you. It's part of mentoring. Thank you. Advisory. So based on that one, he said, start small. You might start small and they will tell you that, okay, you don't have to do so and so, you don't have to do so and so. So that's advisory. Thank you. Part of mentoring. Thank you. Thank you. But let them also have, I hear you, but let them have a clear KPI on how many people that you have advised that have grown. Let them have that KPI. Thank you so much. Over to you, Gregory. From all that you have heard, how are you going to support us? We just hear you give us bullet points. I will, I shall, and we will. Something like that.
Okay, so thank you so much. A lot has been said, and what came out clearly was that there's a need for training. You know, like Dr. Ikechukwu said, agribusiness. You know, agribusiness is not farming, but farming is part of agribusiness. And honestly, in Nigeria, what we're doing is farming. Because you notice, he said it clearly, 80% of what we call agribusiness is subsistence farming. So we have to start rethinking things. And there are a few things I just want to say, just to make us think outside the box when we want to deal with agriculture. The first thing, and that's the area we'll talk on, we need technical knowledge, which I said is 70%. Technical knowledge on, if you're doing snail farming, you need to know the nitty-gritty. And what's the pathway to that? Apprenticeship. It's not just like he said, you come into 3 days training and you run out and you say, I want to start a snail farm. See, standardization starts from the soil, to the seed, to the processing. Everything you have to align. And you know, like he said, he has almost said everything. Standardization and market. You know the market you're sending. And I want to drop one link, one tool, very important tool. Export potential map. Because this export potential map is a free tool on Google. Just Google it. Each country you're going to have what they need from Nigeria. And you know that map is so interesting that if you use it, then you need entrepreneurship, which I'll come back to. You also need to know the standardization and marketing, like I said, aggregation and volume, because we're dealing with subsistence farming. So you now need to what? Aggregate, because when you talk about export or trade, volume is important. And then ecosystem, which is the clusters we are seeing here. Why is clusters important? Because just like Doctor said, When you want to engage export and real trade, you need to have traceability and visibility. And I'm putting visibility because I don't know who made that point that they have to put chip in the animal to know when just to find out that this animal was the animal that left Maiduguri and is going to Lagos. So very important. We need to start and you can't do any of this without technology. Technology is key, right? Then now let me settle on before you talk about commercialization. Let me settle on entrepreneurship. Now, before I would say that, I want to say that Bank of Industry is really doing great because I actually work in the accelerator that Bank of Industry funded in Lagos Business School. And I mean, she's one of the beneficiaries. So, yeah, free of charge. It's actually a scholarship. And in the north, we are focusing on agriculture. And let me just give you just the figure I can remember. Our entrepreneurs, when they came on, it's a 9-month program. It's really huge because we have 4 phases to that training. The first phase is what we call the entrepreneurial orientation and the business management training. The second stage is what we have apprenticeship. So we get key stakeholders. Like I just met Dr. today, I've already collected that because he will definitely be one of our key technical stakeholders. Like for this accelerator, because it's a project, it's a focused project, Bank of Industry is funding. Now, and the third phase is access to market. We take them to access to market, we call experts, talk to them. Then the last is access to funding. We do both ways, equity and loan. So we call investors to come listen to them to see what they have. Then we send them.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
I want to just round up. Please. Just round up. When I talked about entrepreneurship, there are 3 things: the entrepreneur, the opportunity, and the resource control. Now, let me just leave this other 2: entrepreneurship and opportunity. Let me emphasize resource control because we largely say in Nigeria resource is scarce, and in Africa we don't have the resource, we don't have the funds. Then we have to be strategic. There are 5 questions I want to leave with us. Just 5 questions. When you think of you want to control resource, you want to really engage agribusiness. Because you don't have too much to spend, you need to be strategic. The first question is, what is my aspiration, my winning aspiration? You have to have a why. You don't just say, I want to do business because, and I know that's the way, agric is selling, you can always make money from agric, and you jump in. No, that's not correct. That's not the first way to start. Why am I doing this?
Trade and export.
Okay. The second question is, where do I play? Where? So we're talking about export. Where? You have to have the specific. So there's a lady that is one of our technical partners. For the years, she has just been focused on ginger. Just ginger. And they just know her for ginger. Whenever I want to look for ginger. And she has this traceability. She knows all the local farmers. She gives them all the input. She's tracing what they are doing. She has gone nitty-gritty down to see what is going on. So export now, they trust her. The second thing, where do I play? The third, how do I win? When we talk about how do I win, we're looking at what, how do I win? It's more like you want to sit and understand what might be also a competitive advantage. What will I come in with? How? These are things you have to think about. The fourth is, what capabilities do I need to win? What are the capabilities? What essential capabilities do I need to win? Then the last is, what management systems? You heard him said you need a business plan. And definitely nobody gives you money without you having the structure, like you said. So what are the management systems? When you talk about management systems, there are 3 basic things: strategy, administration, and operation. And when you come to Lagos Business School, what we do, we help you put what you're doing in order. So it can make sense to you. And we believe, I'm actually sitting here sitting with my director, she's in Kenya right now, and she'll be back on Monday. And we're really open to have conversations with you. And even with the program going on, I want to say upfront, we'll definitely send all our applications. Now we do it region by region. We've done Southwest. Okay? We are now taking application for North Central, which should start in August. Okay? Then after North Central, we're going to the East. We go to the East, Southeast, we go to the South, we go to Northeast and Northwest. And there are measurable, let me just take one of the key success. Like you said, there has to be clear measures to know that this thing is really working. So these guys came into our program the first month. After 9 months, we got over 4.5 billion revenue.
Wow.
SMEs. And that's the truth. Because it's not just about training, we are also following them up. Getting the data and knowing so we can have key clear measures. So we're really open, right? I'll definitely tell my director it was a wonderful meeting, and then we take it up from there.
I'd like to call on the head of regional cluster. Did you hear the clusters he said he's going to? Head of regions. Did you hear that? Head of trade. Did you hear? So let's put our list together so that when we submit our list, we'll help them make it easy. They don't have to look for people, we give them people. We have a representation. We have representation across Nigeria. Please come, head of regional operations. He just gave us for selection. It's okay, we will meet the criteria. We have all our partners to help us meet it. We have partners to train us. We will meet the criteria. True of us. Thank you. You are so welcome, brother. Thank you, sir. Please give Doctor a mic. Who has a mic there? This session is meant to end with action points.
Sorry, I wanted to comment on the training program.
Thank you, sir.
The way it is done, we zone, Nigeria is 6 geopolitical zones. Initially, it was supposed to be strictly Lagos. But my MD said, no, we can't do such a program only for Lagos. And that the bank we run is a national franchise. So the only way we can sell it up to the board level is that we must have a national view of such a project. So we then agreed that, okay, let's have it geopolitical zone by geopolitical zone.
Okay.
So that it can run across the federation. Broken down into cohort 1, cohort 2, cohort 3, cohort 6. So we've done first one, which is that's for Lagos and Southwest. We are now in North Central. So from Kwara to Kogi to FCT to Plateau to Benue, Nasarawa, that is the zone we're covering now. So please, I know it has closed in terms of receipt of application. However, if you have people in that area, I can squeeze some names into it. Because that's the essence of what we're doing here. We want the tire to hit the road. They don't want talk, what is happening. We want to see some traction. We want to see some months down the road, 1, 2, 3, 4 people from here. After this exercise, after that training, they come to the bank, they collect their money, they got the facility, they repay. They employ 1 or 2 people. That is our objective. We want to see how many people can be employed. We are not a profit motive driven institution like that. Even though we operate to make some profit, without profit, the business will collapse. So we make some profit, but we're spending so much money on training and capacity building for people across the community. So please take advantage. And for those in South, Southeast, Northeast, Northwest, please get ready. Once the information is out in the newspaper, I will speak to your president. But I'll be aware. So that at that point, I just move in and apply. But for North Central that is almost closed, I can see squeezes on names.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Aren't you loving this session? I love people that are action. Yes, action, no too much talk. Thank you so much, sir. And I'd like to say thank you to my panelists because we need to rush, we must close early so that we set the map. Next time when we invite you, you will come. Please stand up, let's take our pictures together. Thank you so much for the time. Okay, very, very quickly, while we are preparing for my next session, I'd like to invite the representative of Customs to just give us a greeting. A very quick greeting. Please, ma'am. Thank you. Her name is Ngozi Okwara. Permit me, my father didn't teach me. Just me, I will stand by you, so you make it quick.
Yes, actually very quick. It's less than a page. Okay, so at this opportunity, we are really very grateful to be invited here. The Nigerian Customs Service appreciates it. And I'm representing the Chinkan Area Controller. I'm representing the Chinkan Area Controller AAS Oloyede. And he gave me the opportunity to write this goodwill message. After reading some of your write-ups from the letter of invitation, I decided to do this. And I titled it The Capable Woman. How hard it is to find a capable woman. She is worth far more than Joel. She is diligent, industrious. She secures her home, community, and society. She understands the value of time on the things she makes and sells to merchants. She is respected, not afraid of the future. She gives attention to mentor and nurture younger women to handle unforeseen gaps. She speaks with gentle wisdom. Her nation someday shows their appreciation in ways of higher responsibilities, either by higher leadership appointments or other forms of recognition. I saw on YouTube very recently where the female members of the National House of Assembly visited the First Lady, Her Excellency, Honorable Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, to congratulate her on her new office. In course of their discussion, she repeated a particular phrase severally. She repeatedly said, "Be teachable." If I may borrow those from her and add that even as we open ourselves to knowledge, we should not hesitate to unlearn and relearn from the things we have learned. Those are guiding principles that makes any person or organization relevant at all times. Please, in course of your exportation processes, may I draw your attention to the do take out time to look critically into the list. The number one mandate of the Nigerian Customs Service is to facilitate trade. Please legitimate trade in the area of imports and exports. And one of the area controllers' office policy is an open door policy to inquiries or whatever issues anyone has. May I, on behalf of the Customs Area Controller Tinkan Island Port, Controller Adewale Stephen Oloyede, congratulate you all on this giant stride and pray that indeed sooner than expected you will tell your stories and achievements in the sands of time. Thank you very much.
I didn't know custom was this sweet. That sounded really nice. Didn't you feel it? Sounded really nice. Thank you so much. And we will make him proud. We will. Okay, at this time, I will just quickly present a slide. You will see what I am going to talk about and the reason, and then we will unveil the brand. Please go to slide 9, quickly. Slide 9. This is talking all about WETI. Stop here. Okay, so I mentioned earlier on that we're just 5 months old, and in 5 months, these are the things we have been able to do as WETI. First of all, we registered as a limited liability company, and not just that we registered, we got over 30 of our members to register immediately as limited liability company within 2 months. Secondly, we are registered as a cooperative as well. Again, not just that we registered, we made sure that every ready
the volume that we would like to, but we have started. Okay? And then we have opened corporate accounts with 3 banks, and you can see that the banks are flooded in this place today. That shows that we are doing well. That shows that when we spoke to them, they saw vision in us and they believed in us. Put your hands together for our financial partners. And then, of course, we started a structure, a very strong structure that our partners have come to like. We operate a 7 business cluster structure, and these 7 business clusters, okay, the slide is gone. We have the export cluster, the agriculture cluster, the trade cluster where we trade within Nigeria. We have the textile and fashion cluster. We have the alternative energy and the ICT cluster, local production cluster. With these clusters, we are able to clusterize our women and focus on the business we are doing, and all of it for export. Okay, no, please go back to my slide, thank you. And then we have our 6 geopolitical representation, like we said earlier on, all across the nation, and we also have chapters by the grace of God in US. We have members in the US that are watching us currently. We have members in Europe. We have members in other Africa, at least 4 other African countries that are participating with us, and they are members of WETI. And then we have over, like I said earlier on, we made our members to also register their companies as limited liabilities. And today we have over 150 registered members. That is 150 limited liability companies in Nigeria with the women in export. I think that is novel. Put your hands together for us. And we have a community membership of over 1,000. And the interesting thing about this community membership, in our community we have women that are mentoring women in the thousands where they are. Victoria, please stand up. This woman, WETI today pledges to make your dream come true, because she has single-handedly trained over 2,000 or 3,000 women in the last couple of years. 20,000 women. She has an initiative called One Initiative, One Community, One Community, One Initiative, One Industry. And with that, she planted, please sit down, my dear. She planted palm trees? Coconut trees. She got the sucklings, got the specifications, the various varieties, planted them in her community. Today, when we were talking, I told her, if we saw someone that says, Victoria, I want to export 100 tons of black soap, do you have it? She said to me, times it by 10. And she has successfully trained those women to convert the raw materials, the things we would have thrown away, into products. And we are pledging to work with you. We will look for market for that black soap, and we will export it. We will export it. We promise, we pledge it in front of all our partners. Thank you so much for what you do. She has, like, at least, you can hear, over 20,000 people she has mentored, women and families. And that is in WETI community. Thank you. Back to my slide, please. Quickly. My slide. Thank you. And then we have had 12 trainings. We had trainings. Mama was always involved in the training. Thank you so much, ma'am, for what you do. We have a couple of others. Mrs. Abimbola that was here, always involved in our training. And we have built our website. One of the things we find that women organizations don't do quickly is their lack of social presence, which we quickly did, and we are encouraging our members to make sure they have the same. Okay, we have a structure in our ICT cluster. That's one of the things it is meant to achieve. We are coming up with a package for our women where we can clusterize our women and have some social media people take care of you and take care of your website for a token, instead of you to handle all the costs yourself. Okay, so thank you very much. That's where we have come. Next slide, please. And now I want to show you where we are going to. This looks very big, right? In the next 3 years, this is where we're going to. We want to be able to have a turnover of at least 3 billion in export. It is possible. With what we have, with what we are doing, it is possible. When we structure ourselves, we will make this happen. We will put the plans
in place. We will work with our leaders, those of us that are already into this, that have years of experience, and we will make this happen. We will come back with our testimony and say we have done it. And then next, we want to grow and expand WETI's cooperative. Like I said earlier, we have a cooperative that up to at least a membership of 10,000 in the next 3 years. Why the cooperative? We have all our financial partners here who have spoken. But I believe that if we come together as women, we will be able to bring out some things and do some things ourselves. One of our panelists that spoke earlier on, Madam Florence, actually is a director of a bank that is started like this. Is it just one bank? One bank, but a couple of cooperatives that started like this. A bank that is functioning. And so that's where we're going. We want to be able to make it different, and we can, with all the support that we get from our partners. My slide, please. And of course, our promise is to chew out at least 200 new exporters, women exporters in Nigeria. Packaging and Branding Center, we're already looking into that. We have one of our members that just started a packaging center. The pouch that most Nigerians used to import from the US and from China, she now produces it at Yanokwaja. She is one of us. She produces it at Yanokwaja. I went there and we saw it last week. We saw the machine, we saw the pouches that she is producing, and we have told her that we are going to expand that. We want to have one inside town as well, so people can come there. We can do those things. They are doable. The people that have them don't have 3 heads. We will do them. And then finally that's the biggie. I remember when I said this in front of the MD of POI, he looked at me and said, very impressive. I like your structure. You want to really build a processing center up for women? You know, and he told me all of the things that it required. And I said, sir, we will try our best and we will do it. The people that have it don't have 3 heads. We will try. And we will do it. Thank you so much. At this time, I'd like to invite our ladies for the unveiling. Please come in. We're going to be unveiling the 3 brands. The first that we will unveil. Can the 3 of them handle it? We need men to help us. Behind every successful woman in business, there are men that are gingering her up. Where are the men? This is one. This is WETI. Okay, please can I invite the head of clusters have gone. Lisa, can you come please? Thank you. We are going to invite some of our partners here to help us with this unveiling. Doctor, please do us the honor. Doctor, please come. And Madam Pam, please come. Madam Pam was one of our members. She saw us online. Please come up here, Doctor. She saw us online, and immediately when she saw us, she was at South Korea. She was at South Korea when she saw us, and immediately latched on into the vision and joined us all the way while she was in South Korea. Today she shuttles between, please come up, ma. Today she shuttles between Nigeria, Florida, and South Korea. I was encouraged when she called me and told me she had joined us from South Korea. Thank you so much, ma'am. God bless you, ma'am. And she's one of our executive members. And I'd like to invite our director rep from POI and from NAFDA. Please come, sir. We're going to be unveiling this brand. LBS, please come. And Customs, please come. NEPC, please come. You know it's not free. I am actually telling you, you have responsibility with me. So do this thing together. We should stay together. Please, the cameraman said we should come together as we unveil this brand. Thank you. Smeda, please come. Please come, our guests. Please come. Oh, we need to move to the middle. Please move to the middle so we can be in the center of the stage. Are we okay? Are we okay? Thank you so much. Thank you. I will give the mic to Mama, please come. Please come. And we have a lady amongst us that is almost 80. She's still exporting. Please, Mama, come and stand by me. I respect my old age. Please come and stand by me. She's almost 80.
you are 70. I'm so sorry. She's 70. Like it is any younger. Thank you. That's two of you. Thank you. Okay, and she's still exporting. She's still active in the export. Thank you. Madam Florence, you know I love you. Please come. And Madam Trino. These are the backbone. I tell my women I have people on the group that are watching me. They flog me when you don't know. They will call me and say, why did we do this like this? Did you not hear their intonation, their accent? She's not a Nigerian, she's a Kenyan. And Madam Chimo came all the way from the UK and came into this country and found us. So she called me and said, you know what? What I think you should do. And I listened when they talk. And I said thank you to them. I like Madam Cecilia, are you here with us? The head of cooperative. That's our head of cooperative. She is my sister from Uyo. When she speaks, I listen. Because she tells me that's not how to do it, Efe. And I must listen when she talks because she comes with loads of experiences. I am grateful to God. God has blessed me with a lot of resources and people and partners. I'd like to say thank you to all of us that are here today to help us unveil this brand. Please, as we begin to unveil the brand, we will unveil the brand in the name of the Father and of the Son. Open. This is the WETI brand, the Women in Export Trade and Investment. And of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Let's open the next one. Do we have the pictures? This is our business cluster. The 7 business cluster that we spoke about. We unveil it in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost. And then we have, oh my God, I love this one. And we unveil it in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And lunch is served. Lunch is served. Yes. Lunch is served. However, as lunch is being served, we will take the vote of thanks and we will also encourage everyone to stay behind because there's a program you need to watch online. Thank you so much for coming. We love you. Why are you people taking that picture there? Please come here. Or else that picture will not show. Snap us. Spread, please, spread. Let's spread out. Let's spread out. Climb up. Climb up. Please just take it like that. It's fine.
Okay, we will announce one by one, but please can someone make sure our guests get their lunch? Please. Please, our guests, you can go have your meal, please. Okay, the executive members, can we now? Executive members, come. Please hold on. Please hold on. Please hold on. Madam Chino, please come. Please come. Oh, yeah, let's pass.
come. I caught you. You were going away. Please come. Please take us with our Jebu market. We didn't get to talk about it, but it's a powerful mover in the agri industry. Sure, you saw all the people in our meeting and harass. Thank you.
Padoka